mighty grizzly bear. The tiny, powerful ant. The lunging, inimitable crocodile. The indestructible rhino beetle. The hammering mantis shrimp. Which is the strongest of them all? In the rugged beauty of North America's subalpine lands, patrols its mightiest resident. Brown bears are aggressive, formidable animals that can weigh up to half a ton, have a bite force of over 1,000 pounds per square inch, and at full speed can run at 50 kilometers per hour. With claws over 10 centimeters long and huge mounds on their back that anchor massive shoulder muscles, their digging and striking capacity is phenomenal. Upright on their hind legs, these awesome creatures can stand 3 meters tall and tower above all but their own kind. Despite the caribou's valiant defense, the incredible muscle power of the bear's forearms and shoulders, combined with its slashing claws and powerful jaws, prove too great a foe. Territorial, massive and highly resilient, these bears are built to resist the cold and make the most of the seasonal food supplies. The grizzly's sense of smell is so strong, it can even sniff out fish underwater. At several kilograms each, the salmon that make their annual migration upstream provide abundant, fat-rich meals that will bolster the bear's huge winter reserves. Before the winter hibernation, they will need to almost double their body weight. Excellent swimmers and well insulated against the cold, much time can be spent in the alpine waters. Although fatal encounters are rare, when matched, these bears have been known to fight to the death. Paws 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters, edged with claws half again as long, strike out, blows sounding throughout the forest. A fully grown adult male stands a meter tall at the shoulder and has a body over 2 meters long and a sense of smell stronger than a dog's. The immense bulk of these frequently waterlogged hunters is supported by 4 powerful shore-footed legs that appear unaffected by the swirling currents and powerful torrents of water that often surround them. Highly intelligent animals with impressive memories, the young spend just 2 seasons with their mothers, learning all there is to know about the seasonal ebb and flow of food, the best places to seek out these annual feasts, and the hunting techniques needed to catch them. Such is the lure of salmon, that this is one of the few times that adult grizzlies will tolerate each other. The huge gape of a grizzly measures a massive 30 centimeters. It is a gape that houses 4 canine teeth, each 5 centimeters long. The strength of their jaw is such that they have been seen biting through pine trees 20 centimeters in diameter. With winter approaching, bears will eat as much as they can. Even when salmon are plentiful, these omnivores will continue to eat anything, from the bountiful salmon to grass, berries, deer, and even elk. In preparation for hibernation, they will put on over 1 kilo a day. Navigating the world with their noses, these masterful beasts remember and return to past places of plenty and will revisit them time and time again. With their mighty bodies, strong senses, powerful claws, and forceful limbs, could these grizzly beasts be the strongest animal of them all? With over 12,000 species, the ants of the world come in great variety, but they are all tough, strong territorial defenders of their realms, and will dispatch unwanted guests with relish. Hardy mandibles cut, bite, and carry, sometimes even carrying off the eggs of other species that they will rear as slaves. Other times, carrying victims far larger than themselves, and yet other times are used as weapons to see off giants. With wing casts that are perfectly designed to colonize new lands, the ants of the world reign supreme. With species that can carry up to 50 times their own weight, and those with jaws that can pin down and dismember their opponents, these tiny warriors are supremely powerful. In the tropical forests of Australia, green tree ants are a familiar sight. With colonies that can reach up to 500,000, these entirely cooperative social insects build their nests of leaves high in the branches. Relative to their tiny size, ant muscles are much thicker than those of larger animals. Milligram for milligram, they produce much more force. If human muscles were in proportion to those of ants, we would be able to wave a car over our heads. Major worker ants weave the exterior of the nest together. Their bodies linked in chains, they pull the leaf edges closer together by reducing the length of the chain, ant by ant. Carried in the mandibles of other worker ants are the sticky white larvae of the colony. These produce a silk which is squeezed out in zigzags and used to bind the leaves of the nest closely together. one colony will make several nests. In some places, over 150 spread over a dozen trees belonging to the same colony. These are defended with such ferocity by these pugnacious tiny warriors that the areas in between colonies are often no insect zones. The oval nests can be 50 centimeters long. If not by an unsuspecting passerby, swarms of these 8-millimeter territorial soldiers run out, gesticulating wildly with open jaws, ready for a fight. Green ants have a battery of attack and defense techniques. On top of their strength of numbers, they have a bite that they follow up with a spray of ascorbic acid. With a cooperative battle plan and some impressive wrestling moves, some of the colony grip and pin down their victim while others dismember it. It will be fed to their larvae. With their massive colonies, in some forests, ant numbers make up half the total number of insects. With 1.5 million ants to every human on the planet, the total weight of the world's humans and its ants, despite the colossal size difference, is almost the same. In the dry Arizonan desert, these harvester ants are about to take to the skies for their nuptial flight. Winged reproducing princesses and drones congregate around the nest. The Mexican horned lizard times its daily activities, such as they are, around the time the ants are the most active. Harvester ants have an extremely toxic venom, the most toxic of any insect. Swallowing them whole, the horned lizard's blood has a neutralizing agent, which renders the venom harmless. A revenge attack is sometimes launched, but the slow-moving lizard remains impervious to their stings. With pheromones drenching the air, males and females are drawn together and a commotion of mating commences. Once it is over, the drones will die, while the females will find a spot to colonize and pull off their wings. They won't be needed anymore. For this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the males swarm the females, several trying to mate with one. From this mating, she will start a new colony. Their tiny bodies belying their power, venom and sheer muscle, are the scurrying ants the strongest animals we know? For as long as the rivers have flowed, dark reptiles have governed their waters. The unmistakable jaw of a crocodile possesses the most powerful bite force of any animal ever recorded, rivaling even the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. The very definition of an ambush predator, the crocodile is fast, powerful, undiscriminating. And when it chooses, barely visible. Propelled by tails of solid muscle, crocodiles can launch their entire bodies out of the water, massive jaws aimed directly at their target. The largest of Nile crocodiles have reached over 700 kilograms, and for them, nothing is off limits. With magnifying crystals in their eyes, creating superb binocular vision, crocodiles also have a transparent eyelid for underwater use. Add to that a hauntingly silent approach. A 200-kilogram wildebeest is a perfectly reasonable target. When it has the wildebeest in its jaws, the valve at the back of the crocodile's throat allows it to take the animal under the surface without taking any water in itself. They can stay submerged for hours and lunge out at any time. Their jaws are so perfect for grabbing and holding and generate such enormous power that victims are helpless. Sensory papillae in their skin allows crocs to sense the vibration of their prey, so they can feel its presence even if they can't see it. Opening its mouth while basking prevents a crocodile's brain from overheating while its body continues to absorb heat. Propelled almost entirely by their pure muscle tails, these largest of reptiles are superb swimmers and have been known to travel from open ocean to 150 kilometers upriver. The largest known saltwater crocodiles have topped 7 meters. With a prehistoric elegance, this croc's swimming efficiency is increased as the raised scutes on its tail channel water to either side of its body. The muscles that power the jaw of the 4.5-meter saltwater croc generate 2 tons of pressure, enough for their teeth to puncture metal. Of everything that it eats, between 50 and 70% of it will be converted to flesh and energy, unlike the 3 to 4% converted in humans. With such a high food-to-energy conversion rate, crocodiles can go months without eating. With their external ear flaps, crocodiles have the most advanced hearing of any reptile. As well as its armored body, powerful tail, incredible draw strength, and unsurpassed ambush techniques, is the crocodile simply the strongest animal of them all? With their mighty trees and flowing rivers, forests are symbols of great towering strength. Yet scurrying over the plants, branches, and leaf litter below is a creature so strong it can lift 850 times its own weight. Tougher than the birds and snakes that decorate the forests, this hardened warrior is without a doubt one of the strongest animals on the planet. The phenomenal rhinoceros beetle is among the largest and most extraordinary of beetles in the world, and is the largest of all Australian scarab beetles. These hardened, stocky, horned insects can be 6 centimeters long. Only their rear wings beat in flight. The 4 wings of these flying, bulky beetles are hardened into a toughened cover for the rear wings that lie underneath. Tiny claws on the ends of their feet help them cling on, while 3 pairs of long, articulated legs bring the beetle closer to the scene of its next fight. Males with larger horns will outcompete smaller horned males, and in doing so, gain access to females that come to feed on the tree sap. When females are around, males go horn to horn in combat. The aim? to dislodge their opponent from the host branch. These two titans of the insect world shouldn't fear each other's presence. The Rhino Beetle is vegetarian in dietary taste, while the confident praying mantis tends to prey on insects it knows it can overpower. The hardy Rhino Beetle will do for a stepping stone. Each pair of tough forked horns almost meet. These males can just pinch at their rival, all with the aim of toppling their foe. Hard, chitinous exoskeletons provide armor against assaults, knocks and falls, and, should they be toppled, these winged battlers can take refuge in flight. Rhino beetles have tibial spurs on their legs, which help to give them a solid grip, a very different use to the legs of a praying mantis, which are laced with rows of spines that help them to grip their meaty victims. With some of the biggest and most elaborate weapons in the animal kingdom, these rugged insects converge on their favorite branches, the battleground for a seemingly endless war. These Herculean horned beetles are as tough as it gets. Not only does the colorful mantis shrimp have the most complex and bizarre-looking eyes in the animal kingdom, it can deliver a blow with the equivalent force of a .22 caliber bullet. The powerful second leg of a mantis shrimp is a formidable raptorial claw. Some are modified as clubs and some as spears. These tough crustaceans can deliver a blow so powerful that they have been known to smash through aquarium glass. With 16 visual pigments, more than 5 times our own, each of these stalked eyes has stereo vision. Some mantises seem to prefer hiding out in pre-existing burrows, and good ones are in short supply. These wild shrimp will compete aggressively for them, no matter who the opposition is. The speed of their strike is one of the fastest responses known. Some strike with velocities up to 10 meters a second. Visual hunters, these speedy creatures can see infrared, ultraviolet, and polarized light, and all from their spying stalked eye, their bodies safely hidden in the comfort of their current burrow. Hammering through the exoskeleton of a crab is something very few creatures are capable of. Yet a few blows from the bludgeoning club of the mantis shrimp is more than enough. Their hammer-like appendages have a latch and spring mechanism that aids in the generation of massive shell-shattering force. A dazzling collection of feeding mouthparts and appendages allow this beautiful mantis shrimp to feed on an array of mussels, crabs, clams, and snails. Whether it is for strength of vision, sheer power, or strength of response time, could this dazzling little shrimp be the strongest there is? The colossal bear, the fearless ant, the formidable crocodile, the armored rhino beetle, or the hammering Mantis Shrimp? Which is the strongest of them all? The explosive sprinting cheetah, the mighty bounding kangaroo, the horned and leaping wildebeest, the powerful and sure-footed horse, or the quick-footed pronghorn? Which is the fastest over land? On the mighty expanse of the African savannas, a battle has been raging and evolving for millions of years. The race between predator and prey can reach astonishing speeds. But there is one animal that can outpace them all: the elegant and graceful cheetah, the fastest animal on Earth. With its lithe body, long slender legs and acute senses, the cheetah prowls its home on the savanna. Cheetahs have long played an important role in human society. The ancient Egyptians often kept cheetahs as pets, tamed and trained for hunting. Cheetahs were kept as close companions to the pharaohs. It was believed that the cheetah would quickly carry away the pharaoh's spirit to the afterlife. Cheetahs are phenomenal hunters, and the flat grassy plains of the Serengeti are perfect for their explosive hunting technique. Their incredible eyesight can pick out a target up to 5 kilometers away. Every second cheetah hunt results in a kill. They're almost twice as successful as the mighty lion. The animals grazing on the plains can be completely unaware the cheetah is getting close. Each of the zebra, wildebeest, and gazelle are themselves formidable runners, and the cheetah can't afford to tip them off. Its stealth, 2,000 camouflaging spots, high-set eyes, and low stalking body allow it to approach unnoticed. The cheetah catapults into action. Aerodynamically built for speed, its supercharged legs can accelerate faster than most sports cars, 0 to 113 kilometers an hour in about 3 seconds. The cheetah is the only big cat with semi-retractable claws that help grip the ground like cleats for traction when running. Pinpoint turning skills are vital to make the most of its missile-like speed. Using its front paws to smack and trip, they knock the helpless victim off balance. Similar to other feline hunters, cheetahs kill prey with a suffocating bite to the throat. As the cheetah runs, its spine curves and dips, allowing front and back legs to come together under its body, and then fully extend to almost 180 degrees. For nearly half the time it's at its maximum speed, the cheetah is completely airborne. The phenomenal flexibility of its spine, together with pivoting hips and shoulders, give the cheetah a stride that can cover 8 meters, and it can take 3 of these every second. Its long black ringed tail acts as a stabilizing rudder as it zigs and zags after its prey. With its core temperature hitting 41 degrees and its breathing going from 60 to 150 breaths per minute, a cheetah can only maintain its top speed for a few hundred meters. The exhausted animal needs to rest and regain its strength. But it won't rest for long. There is always a predator on the prowl. Opportunistic hyenas are skilled hunters and well-known scavengers, and will take advantage of anything that drops its guard. On the plains of Africa, every animal has to be alert and at the top of its game. A hyena presents serious competition for food and would take a cheetah kill if it could. Any challenge must be defended. With its high-set eyes and using rocks and termite mounds for lookout points, a cheetah has a 210-degree field of vision. Relying on its excellent eyesight, they are much more active during the day. It's the high proportion of fast-twitch muscle fiber in the cheetah's hind legs that give them such explosive power. At full speed, they are 30 kilometers an hour faster than a lion and almost twice as fast as a greyhound. Behind the powerful chest of a cheetah, a large heart pumps oxygen to power its immense speed. Enlarged nostrils allow increased airflow to its lungs. It is a quick and bloody fight to the death. Regaining its breath, the cheetah keeps a watchful eye for potential scavengers. With its missile-like speed, pinpoint eyesight, and amazing flexible spine, the cheetah's prowess is unquestionable. Surveying the land around it, the cheetah, with its unrivaled sprint and sleek elegance, is the master of the plains. The fastest animal in the Western Hemisphere, the pronghorn, flies across the prairies of North America. With its elegant loping run covering 6 meters with each stride, the pronghorn can sustain speeds of 60 kilometers per hour and can reach a top speed of almost 100. Evolution has reduced the bone and muscle density in their limbs and shoulders, reducing their weight and adding to their speed. Interlocking spine and grooves in their joints act as hinges, allowing only motion in the direction of travel. The seasonal changes that transform the lowlands from lush to parched heavily impact the movement of the animals that live here, as the moisture in the grasses and shrubs that they eat dries out. Rutting season begins in March, and mature males go horn to horn to defend their territories and the harem of females inside them. The double-pronged horn that gives these graceful animals their name is the only branched horn in the entire animal kingdom. With their elegance and grace, the fleet-footed pronghorn is the second fastest animal on land. In these vast open plains, there is nowhere to hide, and to be fast is to survive. Running with their mouths open for extra air, the superbly adapted pronghorn is able to process enough oxygen to allow it to run at over 60 kilometers an hour for long distances. If needed, it can easily outrun any predators that live on the prairie today. Able to spot danger from over 6 kilometers away, the fast-footed pronghorn leaves coyotes and bobcats in its dust. When they are alarmed, the hair on their rumps stand up, doubling in size. This warning patch can be seen at great distances. While running, their front hooves carry most of their weight. Glands on their feet produce an oily conditioner for these double-pointed hooves. And a padding of cartilage acts as a shock absorber when running over hard terrain and rocks. Pronghorns have an inbuilt ability for speed. A fawn of just 5 days old can already outrun a human. The spectacular landscapes of the North American prairie are bursting with nature's energy and some of her most impressive creatures. The pronghorn may be the fastest among them, but there are others of equal beauty. Rivers flow and grasslands flourish as springs bathe the mountains and valleys full of pronghorn. Hungry bears and coyotes relish in the bounty the fertile land offers. A healthy adult pronghorn can outrun a coyote with ease, but still these agile predators will take fawns if they can, and sometimes work in packs to increase their chances against an adult. Coyotes are excellent swimmers. Despite that, This solitary canine has decided this is a chase he is not going to pursue. With eyes the size of golf balls, pronghorns have a wide field of vision. They are able to spot an object from over 3 kilometers away and can detect movement from twice that distance. As sure-footed herds bound over the land with their leaping gait, eyes, limbs, hooves, and heart work in unison to keep the pronghorn running at breathtaking speeds. Built for extreme speed as well as endurance, is the world's second fastest land animal even more impressive than the cheetah? Wildebeest, the iconic roaming antelopes of the African plains. These bearded, shaggy-maned, and horned animals are among nature's best endurance runners. Calves learn to walk within minutes of birth and can keep up with the herd in days. Wildebeest stand 1.5 meters tall at the shoulder and can be 2.5 meters in length. Weighing in at 270 kilograms, they are heavier than a lion and able to run just as fast. Dawn breaks on the plains. Predator and prey embrace the challenges of a new day. In the battle between the quick and the dead, every day can be your last. With their bulk concentrated high in the front of their bodies, these beasts are capable of long-distance running as well as tremendous bursts of speed, topping 80 kilometers per hour. The wildebeest calving season is synchronized with the beginning of rainy season. Every year, 500,000 energetic newborn calves arrive. And the right to father these calves is one worth fighting for. Foreheads flat on the ground, the males adopt the combat position. They lock horns that can reach almost 1 meter in length. Wildebeests are some of the noisiest animals on the plains. The loud vocalizations made during these fights give the creature their other common name, the gnu. Immensely strong and agile, leopards pounce from trees with deadly accuracy. Grazing animals on the plain look to each other for any sign of alarm. But the nocturnal leopard spends the day at rest. Come dusk, they are formidable hunters, and wildebeest calves can be at risk. Living in immense herds and sharing the plains with the sharp eyes and ears of the zebra gives some safety in numbers. As the annual migration nears, over 1.5 million wildebeest gather. The migration offers a feast to all the great hunters of the plains. The constant race between predator and prey pushes both to adapt to even faster and more successful techniques of escape or capture. The most abundant and successful predator in Africa, the spotted hyena, has jaws strong enough to split open rhino bones. Even so, if a lion wanted to take a hyena's kill, the hyena would give way and wait until the lion had its fill. Hyenas are almost 4 times smaller than wildebeest and will hunt them in groups of 3 or more. Predator and prey share the same powerful shoulders and front legs, and both are skilled endurance runners. For the hyena to win this hunt, it will take a high-speed chase, which can go on for over 5 kilometers. The powerful jaws and strong digestive tract of the hyena allow it to process almost every part of any animal. The only thing the hyena can't digest are hooves, hair, and horns. The great migration to and from grazing and water every year is one of the most phenomenal sights on Earth. Zebra, gazelle, and impala join the wildebeest in a journey of great endurance, covering hundreds of kilometers. Are wildebeests, with their skill for both distance and speed running, one of the most impressive movers on the plains. the diverse landscapes of Australia are home to an alert, curious, and enigmatic animal, the world's largest and fastest marsupial, the mighty kangaroo. Bounding across vast open bushland with hops of up to 9 meters, their spring-loaded hind legs power them forward. As seen here celebrated in artwork, the Aboriginal people have a long and deep respect for this extraordinary animal. For millennia, their lives have been inseparably intertwined. The faster they travel, the more elastic energy is created, self-propelling these masters of the outback. Kangaroo forearms are short but strong. With 5 clawed digits, they are used mainly for eating and grooming, but don't let their size fool you. They can also be used viciously in self-defense. At full speed, their hind legs extend fully, and as the kangaroo hops upwards, its diaphragm is pulled down, pulling air into its lungs. As the hind legs are brought forward past its chest and the stride lands, the kangaroo's internal organs flop onto the diaphragm and force air out. Combined with the elastic energy of the hind leg tendon, this supercharged hop is supremely energy efficient. The strong, thick, muscular tail of a kangaroo acts as a balance as they fly over the Australian bush. When not flat out, most kangaroos have a comfortable hopping speed of about 25 kilometers per hour. Throughout these vast expanses of outback, there is only one wild animal the kangaroo truly fears. The dingo dog, Australia's largest land carnivores. They hunt at dawn and dusk when their prey is distracted by feeding. These pack-hunting canines are enough to strike fear into even the largest individual. Lithe and nimble, dingoes are highly adept hunters. Patient and intelligent with large canine teeth, dingoes may not be able to outrun a kangaroo at full speed, but working together, they are a fearsome opponent for the fleeing roo. Flat out and heart-pounding, it flees for its life. These four-legged carnivores, with their flexibility, stamina, teamwork, and a raging hunger, chase after the kangaroo even though it is over twice the weight of each of the dogs. It's over. The dingo kills with a bite to the throat, and the unlucky kangaroo becomes the next meal for the pack. With each new day, kangaroos young and old make the most of the cool before the heat of the day. Mobs made up of several females, their young and a dominant male travel together. They can bound tirelessly at 40 kilometers per hour for over 2 kilometers. Kangaroos are strict vegetarians, and the fresh green growth they prefer is reliant on seasonal rainfall. Living on grasses, shrubs, and herbs, the rains not only bring new forage, but also welcome relief from the extreme temperatures of the bush. Until, that is, the rain just gets to be a bit too much. When moving slowly on all fours, their strong tails act like a crutch as they swing their back legs forward like a pendulum. This way of moving uses much more energy than its efficient hop. Traveling at anything over 18 kilometers an hour, it takes less energy for a kangaroo to hop than it does for a four-legged animal to run at the same speed. Kangaroo males strive for the mating rights that come with dominance. Using his massive tail for balance, a male roo kicks out with those immensely powerful hind legs. Such muscle power, combined with claws on his hind feet, is enough to rip open his opponent's belly. Powerful shoulders drive strong forearms, and sharp claws strike out. It will be several years before this joey is ready for such battles. Practice fights start young, but as soon as one of the pair backs down, the matter will be forgotten. Young joeys soon get the hang of their spring-powered legs and seem to take great pleasure in testing them out for bounce. When food is plentiful, the superpowered kangaroos can take things easy, relaxing with their mob and enjoying feeding time. Moving in an easy 25 kilometers an hour, they find shady spots to hone their skills for adulthood and slowly understand the power that their limbs possess. Icons of the outback, these energy-efficient spring-powered kangaroos reign supreme as the fastest marsupials in the world. Wild horses are truly a symbol of majestic power. Strong, sleek, elegant, the ultimate untamable free spirit, galloping unbridled across the land. Almost 1 million Brumbies grace Australia's landscapes. Descendants of the working horses of the early 1800s, Brumbies are a mix of thoroughbred, Arab, and draft horse. They're tough, fast, icons of freedom. The Brumbies of the Alps gallops are sure-footed over its rocky, snow-covered terrain. The horse's hoof is the tip of a single toe, protected by a wall of keratin that can be likened to our fingernails. Having evolved as a prey animal, its long, sturdy, lightweight legs help the horse to run at great speeds. A galloping horse travels at about 45 kilometers per hour, but the world record for a horse in a sprint distance is almost double that. Man and horse have a relationship that goes back hundreds of years. Brumbies are still mustered in parts of Australia. Valued for their endurance, strength, sure-footedness, and agility, they are rounded up to be tamed for work as stock and trail horses, as well as for show and for recreation. With a strong flight instinct, the Brumbies' prey response kicks in, and they will attempt to outrun the surrounding horsemen. These wild creatures have never had a bridle in their mouth or a saddle on their back. If caught, they will not tame easily. A horse has a highly developed sense of exactly where its body and limbs are at all times, and a sensitivity to anything foreign. With the ability to detect an insect landing on its back, a man in a saddle will not be tolerated. Lowering its head and raising its hindquarters, the bucking horse will do anything in its power to remove the unwanted rider. This is a dangerous pastime for both man and horse. The unleashed power of the horse rejects the rider again and again. Being social creatures that form companionships, Brumbies gather and frolic. In this situation, bucking is for joy, not for defense. As soon as Europeans settled in Australia, they realized they would need horses that equaled the demands of this hard country. Cross-breeding those that had survived the tough sea voyage gave a stronger, faster horse that could thrive on the native pastures. Although able to survive on roots and bark in dry times, when the pasture is lush, Brumbies live on grasses. With 4 very different types of movement, horses range from their powerful 45 km/h gallop to the 20 km/h canter, the 15 km/h trot, down to a slow walking pace. In the searing heat of the summer months, Brumbies will travel long distances to find the relief of a watering hole. Such is the sure-footedness and resilience of these creatures that they were used as war horses during the First World War. Today, the untamed Brumbies of Australia roam across its wild land. This unburdened beast is surely one of nature's powerhouses of speed and strength. The powerful galloping horse, the mighty hopping kangaroo, the endurance-running wildebeest, the bounding pronghorn, or the sprinting cheetah. Which one is the most impressive across land? The fanged spider with its scurrying bite, the scorpion with its deadly sting, a sinister, cold-blooded crocodile, the hypnotizing, venomous snake, or the king of beasts, the lion. Which one is the most dangerous? Giraffes are eternally majestic. Buffalo, formidable, but with their golden fur, regal mane, and fearsome presence. Lions are known as the king of beasts. Lions have been celebrated throughout history for their majesty, courage, and strength. Kings and queens have taken the lion as a symbol of dominance and leadership. The largest of all carnivores on the African plains, lions are smaller and faster than the tigers of Asia. The thick flowing mane of an adult male grows darker as they age. These regal manes not only soften an enemy's blow, they also add to the size and fearsome appearance of the males, warning other lions not to challenge them. Even more impressive than its mane is its roar. The thundering sound of a lion defending its territory can be heard from 8 kilometers away. The unseen presence of a lion sparks fear in the animals of the plain. The lion certainly lives a life fit for a king. They sleep around 20 hours a day. A lion's leisure time is usually only interrupted by the hunt for food. It is the females that do most of the hunting. Using deadly teamwork, they work together to bring down the mightiest of prey. Claws, teeth, and jaws show no mercy as they tear at their victim, strangling and suffocating until victory is theirs. These merciless hunters are also caring mothers with deep maternal instincts who will protect their cubs against the other predators of the plains, no matter what the cost. There are unforeseen dangers for all those that live on the savannah. The air suddenly becomes heavier. It's hard to breathe. Animals begin to get nervous. Senses are alerted, trying to work out where the danger is coming from. Their highly developed senses of smell have detected smoke in the air, and this means real danger. Fire, a deadly enemy to all, predator and prey alike. Instinct says to run as far and as fast as possible to avoid being trapped by the approaching flames. In all directions, the animals of the plains flee for their lives. When fire blazes through the savannah, it's terrifying for those animals who can escape, and fatal for those who can't. Separated by the flames, some are cut off from the rest of the pride. It is vital for the lioness to take refuge and to protect her cubs. All she can do is wait in fear for the flames to recede. Lions are opportunist hunters and will attempt to take any prey, regardless of its age, sex, condition, or size. It takes coordinated teamwork to bring down the tallest animal on Earth. It's a difficult and dangerous pursuit. In this remarkable display of courage, strength, and sheer tenacity, the Pride launch an attack on the tallest animal on Earth, the giraffe. It's a daring and risky hunt. The giraffe is attacked from behind while other members of the Pride surround the mighty beast, preventing it from escaping. The giraffe is 5 times taller and more than 5 times heavier than the lions. Prey this size is no easy hunt. The giraffe's hoof is the size of a dinner plate and is capable of killing a lion. The hunting lioness breaks cover and leaps onto the haunches of a galloping zebra. Predator and prey can run at the same speed. It's the lion's powerful forelimbs, superb muscle strength, piercing claws, and mighty canine teeth that do the damage. Their muscled forebody enables them to deliver blows that could break the zebra's back. Lions don't eat every day, but when they do, they can get through 30 kilograms of meat in one sitting. For a pride of 10 lions, that's an entire zebra. Is the mighty lion the most dangerous animal on land? A barely habitable burnt corner of Earth, parched and sun-drenched. Once the sun is set and temperatures drop, the nighttime wilderness becomes a very dangerous place. Danger lurks in the form of a sharpened spike loaded with toxic venom. It could be waiting anywhere, under a rock, in your shoe, or even in your bed. These are scorpions. Scorpions have been around for over 400 million years. They've seen the rise and the fall of the mighty dinosaur, and will probably outlast mankind. They can survive massive doses of radiation and are protected by their hard outer skeleton. Armed with their toxic tail and crushing claws, they wait for the sun to go down before they start their search for prey. There are almost 2,000 species of scorpion, differing in size, habitat, and the toxicity of their venom. Babylonian astrologers included the scorpion in their zodiac during the Bronze Age. People born under this sign are thought of as aloof and vengeful. In Greek mythology, Scorpius was a giant scorpion sent by the earth goddess Gaia to slay the giant Orion. Some of the most deadly species of scorpion are found in North Africa. During the day, they seek out quiet, dark hiding places. Although scorpions have several pairs of tiny eyes which are spread all over their bodies, it is the minuscule hairs that cover their legs which help them hunt. The hairs pick up even the most subtle of vibrations, helping the scorpion to determine the location of its prey and the direction it is moving, preparing it to be ready to strike with its venom-injecting barb. Its tough vice-like pincer claws are used in defense and to crush their victims. The rocks and stones of the underground come alive as the silent scorpions come out in search of their prey of spiders and insects. Most human fatalities are children, who are more vulnerable to their venom. The scorpion is not dangerous to humans because it is aggressive, but because of its desire to seek out dark places and shelters to hide in during the day. Nearly all attacks on humans are in self-defense. Most scorpions are solitary and will attempt to kill and eat other scorpions that invade their territory. Venomous scorpions tend to have weaker-looking pincers and thin bodies. Their strength lies with the toxins in their tail. Most accidental stings to humans are on the hand or foot, occurring when a scorpion is disturbed while hiding in crevices or burrows. Scorpions kill over 3,000 people every year. The venom of these small killers can be compared to that of the king cobra. Both are neurotoxins, fast-acting and bring about death by heart respiratory failure in their victims. Out of the 2,000 species of scorpion, roughly 25 of them are deadly to humans. It's no wonder that these prehistoric creatures are one of the most feared in all of the animal kingdom. In amongst the desert cactus and dried earth is the scorpion's next meal. Scurrying across the ground, its deadly weapons are ready to strike. Tough claws grasp at the victim. The syringe-like barb of the scorpion's tail pierces its prey and injects the fast-acting neurotoxin. Its molecules are rapidly absorbed, attacking the central nervous system and paralyzing the nerves that control breathing. Venom is delivered with surgical precision, paralyzing its prey in an instant. Once paralyzed, the scorpion emits its stomach juices onto the prey, sucking up the liquefied food with the victim still clamped between its mighty claws. Some species of scorpions can live up to 10 years in these harsh environments, equipped with the weapons to survive. Scurrying back into darkness, is the scorpion the most dangerous predator on land? With long legs that wave inescapable snares, spiderlings that hatch in their hundreds, and fangs that inject lethal venom into their prey, spiders strike fear into many people. In Greek mythology, the great weaving god Arachne was turned into the first spider, while in Japanese mythology, shape-shifting demons often take a spider-like form. Funnel web spiders are among the most deadly spiders in the world, and of all of them, the Sydney funnel web is arguably the most lethal. Aggressive and easily agitated, the funnel web is quick to bite. This nocturnal ground hunter of beetles, cockroaches, and small lizards, with an abdomen the size of a human thumb, is a walking messenger of death. The venom glands attached to the funnel web's fangs contain a complex cocktail of highly virulent chemicals. With a vertical strike downward, pointing fangs pierce through body casing, and a measured dose of fast-acting venom is delivered. This cricket will get a higher dose than would, say, a smaller insect. When the Sydney funnel web decides to deliver its maximum dose, it can kill a human, and this species is likely to be responsible for all human deaths from funnel webs. These deadly spiders are not just found in crevices, rocks, and logs. They are often drawn out of their silk-lined burrows by rain and flooding. The more venomous males have been known to wander into city gardens and houses in search of females. Like scorpions, they too have been found in shoes and clothes, discarded on the floor. While the funnel web can bring danger and potential death to humans, there is another incredible spider that brings death to its own kind. The 1-centimeter Portia spider has evolved to selectively hunt other spiders, specializing not only on other jumping spiders, but also on the web builders. The beautifully camouflaged Portia spider exploits the poor eyesight of others as it merges with any leaf fragments caught in their webs. With the second most acute eyesight in the animal world, this eagle-eyed, intelligent spider can learn, problem-solve, and remember, learning the best combat tactic for their selected victim. Using camouflage to detour along rocks to perform an ambush attack is just one. Skilled at running on the silken webs of at least 11 different families of spiders, Porsches can mimic the vibration patterns not only of a trapped insect, but also of the courtship signals of the spiders it hunts. If this lures the spider out, they keep doing it until the unsuspecting prey is within striking distance. With its fangs outstretched, the tiny Porsche spider injects its fast-acting venom. This combination of intelligence, memory, and stealth make the Porsche spider a truly deadly adversary. Others rely more on pure brawn. Palm-sized tarantulas with a leg span bigger than a book are hard to miss. While their bite may not be fatal to humans, to the insects, frogs, and mice it preys on, the tarantula is a bristled and deadly foe. Snakes have fascinated and terrified humans for thousands of years. In many parts of the world, they are worshipped as protectors and creators. But some cultures fear snakes as devils and symbols of vengeance and death. Whether as an evil power or symbol of fertility, the snake is a powerful image. It represents both immortality and death, male and female, deity and demon, killer and healer, the highest of wisdom as well as the chaos from the underworld. Mysterious movement, lethal venom, suffocating grip, or lightning strike. The snake has a commanding reputation throughout the world. Every year, more than 5 million people suffer snake bites. Over 100,000 of them die from their wounds. With heat-sensing organs, an acute sense of smell, and the ultimate flexible body, snakes track down their victims. The bite is the lethal weapon of venomous snakes. Their fangs deliver toxins straight into their victims' bodies, causing paralysis and, in some cases, death. Venomous snakes are strictly carnivorous, killing and eating small animals, including lizards, mammals, birds, fish, insects, even other snakes. Asia is home of the legendary king cobra, a dynamic hunter that preys on other snakes and delivers huge amounts of powerful venom. Measuring more than 5 meters, the king cobra is the longest venomous snake in the world. King cobra are found throughout India. Their heads are the size of a man's hand and they can detect movement from 100 meters away. Each dose of venom has enough neurotoxin to kill 20 grown men. Highly intelligent, snakes are treated as object of awe and wonder by humans. Snake charmers have used them for many centuries. When threatened, the cobra will flare out its iconic hoods and emit a bone-chilling hiss that sounds almost like a growling dog. Snakes can't bite or tear their food into pieces. They swallow their prey whole. They use their highly developed sense of smell to track their prey. Hundreds of vertebrae in the snake's spine give them their incredible flexibility. With their constantly moving forked tongues, they collect airborne particles, which they pass into their mouths for chemical analysis, providing them vital information about their surroundings. Some snakes kill by constriction. Some snakes use their venom to kill or paralyze their prey before eating it, while others swallow their prey whole and still alive. Out walking, you never know what could be lurking by your feet. It only takes a second for a snake to strike. If the snake were poisonous, this young girl will have very serious problems. Is the snake, with its venom-filled lightning strike, the land's most dangerous predator? Lurking in the world's rivers, marshes, and swamps lies one of the most prehistoric and dangerous predators on the planet. Stories, songs, and legends have been built up around them. People tremble in fear at their name. These are crocodiles. These ancient reptiles are a symbol of merciless predation and insatiable appetite. They can stay hidden in the water for hours and strike without warning. The saltwater crocodile and the Nile crocodile are two of the largest species of crocodile in the world, hunting anything they choose and killing hundreds of people each year. The ancient Egyptians worshipped the crocodile as the god Sobek and adorned crocodiles with jewels in his honor. They believed that Sobek controlled the mighty Nile, and so he was worshipped to appease the crocodiles of the river, as well as for the fertility of the Egyptian people and their crops. Crocodiles have been on Earth since the beginning of time, existing with the dinosaurs. Crocodiles survived the breakup of the Earth's continents. They even survived the ice ages. While most other animals have gone through remarkable evolutionary changes in order to survive, crocodiles have remained virtually the same for millions of years. Slowing their heartbeat down to 2 or 3 beats per minute, and with a transparent eyelid, a crocodile can wait underwater until it sees its prey. Madagascar's Anivarano Lake. For its local people, Lake Anivarano is sacred. Legend says that a wizard dressed as a passerby walked through the town and asked its people for a drink of water, but they refused him. The wizard flooded the town to punish them for not satisfying his thirst. Since that time, the locals believe that the crocodiles are sacred, the reincarnated spirits of their ancestors. To win favor with the crocodiles, the people perform ceremonies to appease them, offering them meat from a freshly slaughtered zebu. The crocodile feeds on the offering of the villagers. The ceremony comes to an end when a young man from the village hangs the head of a zebu on top of a column which is already adorned with the skulls from previous rituals. You never know what a crocodile is going to do. With only its eyes and nostrils above the water, these are perfect ambush predators. The biggest reptile on Earth, the mighty saltwater crocodile, explodes from the water with outstretched jaws. Crocodiles are perfectly adapted for hunting in water. Powerful swimming muscles and clawed webbed feet make them excellent swimmers. At home in the ocean, saltwater crocodiles can often be seen out at sea. Taking a drink at the water's edge or trying to cross the river can be a very risky business when crocs are about. Without any warning, The half-ton crocodile launches itself out of the water, slamming its massive jaws shut around an unsuspecting animal. Saltwater crocodiles have a bite force of 3,700 pounds per square inch. That's almost 4 times as much as a lion. Its mouth has up to 60 teeth, all designed to rip flesh off prey. Clasping the dying animal in its powerful jaws, the croc takes it underwater to drown it in a twisting death roll. Is the crocodile, with its strength and insatiable appetite, the most dangerous predator? Which is the most dangerous of all predators on land? The majestic lion, the venomous snake, the fanged spider, the poisonous scorpion, the ancient crocodile? Or is it mankind? The charming kangaroo, the cuddly koala, the beautiful butterfly, the cheerful clownfish, or the endearing Budgerigar? Which is the cutest of them all? The warm tropical waters of the world's oceans are home to a dazzling array of beautiful marine life. In the shallow waters live stationary animals that look more like plants with their long waving tentacles. They are home to some of the most famous and most brightly colored of all the fish in the sea. Clown anemone fish live their lives in the safe confines of a single anemone, dancing through its tentacles, their bright colors flashing in and out. There are 28 different species of anemone fish, with different shades of orange, yellow, red, and even black. Most also have white stripes or patches along their bodies. Before taking up residence in their chosen anemone, these jolly-looking ocean dwellers perform an elaborate dance with their new host, gently touching its tentacles until they are accustomed to it. Clownfish are one of the very few fish lucky enough to have this relationship with an anemone. For many other animals, these tentacles can spell danger. Anemones are in the same group of animals as jellyfish and have powerful stinging cells, but they do not harm their resident clownfish, which are covered in a layer of mucus that protects them from the anemone's otherwise lethal sting. Both partners get something out of the relationship. Protected from predators and supplied with a safe place to live, the little clownfish keeps the anemone clean. Not much more than 10 centimeters long, these adorable little fish would make a great snack to a moray eel. These prehistoric-looking fish stay in crevices and holes and like to ambush unsuspecting passers-by. Clownfish are homebodies and don't stray too far or too long from the safety of their stinging residence. Outside of its protection, it's not just eels, but also sharks, stingrays, and bigger fish that may try to eat it. They are so protective of their beautiful living home that these feisty little fish will see off unwanted visitors to the anemone. Although other fish have many places to hide, what is extra special about the relationship between the clownfish and its anemone is that they actually eat leftovers of each other's food. As fish and plankton waft over this undulating carpet anemone, both it and the clownfish that live in it can feast on the bounties the water brings. The oceans abound with delicate and beautiful creatures like these tiny transparent glass shrimp. But no matter how pretty, few can compete with the big-eyed, fast-finned, happy-looking clownfish. These dazzling little balls of bright orange must surely be some of the cutest creatures in the sea. Across Australia, thousands upon thousands of kangaroos bound over the countryside. Their superpower legs are born to hop. Leaping through the outback, these furry marsupials can speed along at over 60 kilometers an hour, and they start practicing as soon as they're out of the pouch. The iconic kangaroo is so well loved throughout Australia, it has become a symbol of the country and is seen on coins, on the coat of arms, on car stickers, and on countless road signs. With their alert and inquisitive faces, the endearing kangaroo's curiosity is never satisfied, and they're seemingly always on the lookout for something. And none more curious than the joey, taking his first glimpses of the outside world. Kangaroos are gentle and caring mothers. While she feeds and cares for one joey that is now at her feet, she will have another smaller developing joey in her pouch. Both her young will be fed on separate formulas of milk. Both these milks will change composition for each of her joeys as they grow and their needs change. From the safety of his mother's pouch, this joey will take his first nibbles of grass. Kangaroos don't tend to spend much time alone. Instead, family groups come together to form much larger mobs. Each family group will be made up of a dominant male and several females and their young. As they bound along, the mothers in the group will pull their pouches tightly towards themselves, keeping their joeys secure inside. The beautiful bounding leap of a kangaroo can cover over 9 meters at a time as its spring-loaded legs propel it forward, its strong and graceful tail used for steering, stability, and balance. Like all young animals, kangaroos need to practice the skills of adulthood. Although sometimes entering into the outside world seems to be done with much caution. When the time comes, adult males box, raking their opponents' heads and chest with sharp claws. They kick out with hind legs that have been growing stronger and stronger since the day they were born. Their tails are so strong that they can support their entire bodies as powerful hind legs kick, and forearms seem to both lash out and hold on at the same time. It seems like no matter who is doing the fighting, boxing is a spectator sport. These acrobatic displays of strength will decide on the hierarchy and dominance of the males. Claws are not always used for fighting. Oftentimes, they're much better suited to scratching an annoying itch, although some do that a lot faster than others. The sharp claws can be so gentle as the peaceful kangaroos tend to each other. These furry, family-oriented, affectionate creatures that grace the Australian bush are undoubtedly the most endearing of the outback. The stunning monarch butterfly that fills the sky are some of the most beautiful and delicate of all the world's insects. These small winged wonders migrate over 4,000 kilometers to and from their hibernation sites. Incredibly, no single butterfly goes each way, but somehow the same routes are traveled year after year. Millions of monarch butterflies take to the skies every autumn and fly from the cooler parts of North America to the warmer climates of Mexico and California, where they can survive the winter. They are the only butterflies known to make such a massive journey. Adult monarchs feed purely on liquid and select their favorite nectars from a variety of plants. The life of these exquisite butterflies is complex and dazzling and happens in a number of stages. Tiny eggs are laid exclusively on milkweed plants, lined with a waxy layer to stop it from drying out and surrounded by a protective shell. After only 4 days, the tiny larvae creep out. These minute caterpillars have got just one mission: to eat as much as they can. Eating the egg case from which they have just emerged, they begin to munch and munch and munch and will eat nothing but milkweed. The organic compounds in the milkweed plants that these hungry larvae eat will remain with them and make the adult butterflies foul-tasting and poisonous to predators. Growing daily, they become more and more colorful, until at their full 5 centimeters, they are a dazzling bright yellow, white, and black eating machine. These creepy caterpillars need to store up enough energy to get them through the next phase of life, during which they will not eat. Able to grow no more, the caterpillar attaches to a stem by a silk pad. It creates a hard protective case around itself and turns into a vibrantly colored chrysalis. Inside here, one of nature's greatest wonders takes place, as the hidden caterpillar undergoes its metamorphosis into a fully formed butterfly. On the morning it emerges, the butterfly will hang from its split chrysalis for several hours until it is sure its wings are completely dry. Crinkled from having been cramped inside the chrysalis, the butterfly pumps fluid into its magnificent wings until they are full and strong enough for it to spread them and fly off to feed on the flowers of its new world. The veins that pattern the deep orange and white wings are darker on the slightly smaller females, while the males have a black dot in the middle of each of their rear wings. Tiny coiled proboscis unravel to suck up the sweet nectar that they will feast on for the remainder of their lives. Most monarchs will only live as adults for a few weeks and die after laying eggs for the next generation. In 1 year, there will be 4 generations of these, the prettiest of butterflies. But only one of these generations will make the incredible migrations that they are known for. The great-grandchildren of the last generation will themselves prepare for the greatest flight of the butterfly world. With their graceful, delicate, and spectacular lives, these are by far the most captivating of insects. Wild budgerigars, or budgies, are social nomadic little parrots that come together in their hundreds to fly in lively, undulating flocks. Despite living in the dry landscapes of Australia, budgies have a preference for drinking and bathing every day, and are usually found not too far from the water. Male and female budgies differ from the color of their cere, the area at the base of their beak. In males, this is bright blue, while in females it is a pale brown. With their sturdy beaks and thick, flexible tongues, they get all the energy they need from the grass seeds they forage for in the mornings. The males of these monogamous couples court their females by nudging her beak and by bobbing their heads towards her, sometimes offering food. It is the female budgie that will incubate the small white eggs she has laid. Concentrating on keeping her eggs safe and warm, her partner will bring her food during the 3 weeks it will take before their eggs hatch. Featherless, blind, and unable to even lift their heads, these newly hatched chicks are utterly helpless. There may be different-sized chicks inside the nest, as budgies lay their eggs at different times. There can be as much as 2 weeks difference between the first and the last chick to hatch. By 2 weeks old, down is starting to be covered by feather, and the males have joined the females in helping to keep the hungry and fast-growing chicks fed. By the time they are 30 days old, these young birds will start to stretch out their wings and strengthen them. Although they are starting to look like adults, their parents will continue to feed and protect them for some time. When their wings are strong enough, usually at just 5 to 6 weeks old, they will take their first flight. Budgies have survived in the harsh beauty of Australia for the last 5 million years. Highly social birds, their early mornings are spent preening and singing and moving within trees before they fly off for their foraging area to feed throughout the day. In these densely packed, fast-wheeling flocks can be tens of thousands of these pretty petite little parrots as they swarm and swoop over the beckoning waterholes. Surely, these are some of the prettiest of all birds. The adorable, soft-furred, cuddly koala is one of the world's most well-loved little creatures and one of Australia's favorite residents. Among the eucalypt forests and woodlands of eastern Australia, these enigmatic little animals spend most of their lives in trees. Not actually a bear at all, the koala is a marsupial, and like other marsupials, the females carry their young in a pouch for the first few months of life. Like kangaroos, young koalas are also called joeys. By the time this joey is just over 6 months old, she will start to feed herself. Up until now, her mother has been passing on the microorganisms needed to inoculate herself for a life of feeding on poisonous leaves. Young koalas need their mothers until they are about 1 year old, and some a lot more than others. On the ground, koalas have a sauntering, lolloping gait. But when they need to, these usually ultra-slow animals can really move. Excellent mothers, females are very tolerant of the young, who will pop back into the pouch for milk until they can't fit anymore. Carrying them around on their backs, mother and joey are very close, and the young joey will sleep curled up in his mother's lap. Koalas sleep and rest for 20 hours every day, conserving the precious energy they get from the low-nutrient eucalyptus leaves they survive on. Sometimes, though, there is reason to be awake. The first few months out of the pouch is a dangerous time for a young joey. Its mother's strong claws and gripping paws carry them further up a tree and away from danger. As well as goannas, pythons, wedge-tailed eagles, and dingoes can all pose a threat to a young koala. From their treetop lookouts, koalas are surrounded by their eucalyptus buffet. But eucalyptus leaves are half water, almost 20% fiber, and 13% tannins. Koalas need to chew through over 1 kilo a day to keep up even their relaxed lifestyle. When the rains come, koalas don't move out of their trees. They just get wet. Curling into a tiny ball, they huddle inside their waterproof coats. With long, muscular legs and grasping, strong-clawed digits, koalas are truly excellent climbers. Their forefeet have a split hand design that helps them hold onto tree trunks and branches with a super strong grip. Yet, at the same time, they are so gentle with their young. These adorable, furry, sleepy animals are surely enough to melt anyone's heart. Gentle kangaroos, super furry koalas, delicate butterflies, bright orange clownfish, or cheerful budgies. Which is the cutest of them all? The socially complex chimpanzee, the erudite elephant, the fastidious bird, the inventive Bolas Spider, the design-minded termite, the inquisitive dolphin, or the inimitable octopus. Which is the most intelligent? With their complex social lives, coordinated behaviors they casually carry out, and emotions that seem to stream from their faces, chimpanzees are so much more than simply smart. Born with brains of immense capacity, our simian cousins are fast learners. Using twigs and stones as tools, chimps can pry treats out of hidden crevices. Living in flexible communities, smaller groups come and go. With their long memories and ingrained social bonds, they can even remember individuals they haven't seen for long periods of time. Bonds formed in early days of rough and tumble grow into friendships that often last a lifetime. Communication in the world of chimps is not only tactile, but also behavioral, facial, or vocal. When one finds an abundance of food, it will often be barked out loudly to call others to the feast. Such is the empathy of these long-fingered apes that they have been seen removing splinters from their fellow chimpanzees. During the decade it takes for a chimpanzee to fully mature, there is a great deal it must learn. Knowing what is a threat and what is not is vital information. Much like humans, their facial expressions often betray their emotions. Bared teeth and lip puckering indicate fear and worry in the face of what could be an unknown threat. Swinging on vines, it's easy to see the strength of these adult chimps and their youthful love of play. Living a life of reasoned thought, skill learning, social complexity and relationship forming, as well as their capacity for deep emotion, chimpanzees are not only more intelligent than most other mammals, but they also have a dexterity and agility above and beyond most others. They may not have a spoken language, but often words are not needed. These super bright chimps have been known to use plants medicinally, with certain plants only eaten by those that appear unwell. Are these simians the smartest animal around? Family-oriented, social and extremely loyal, the ties that bind this family group are made and strengthened by a complex array of vocal and tactile communication. by behavior patterns and knowledge passed down through generations, and a memory that outclasses our own. The superior intelligence of the elephant allows them to think, to feel, and to remember. Led by a dominant matriarch, herds of females and their daughters stay together for life. Social bonds are strong, care of the young is shared, and the wisdom of the matriarch respected. She will lead them to hidden minerals, to food, to water, and away from danger. Behind the mass and power of these beautiful beasts is a huge brain that feels emotion and understanding to a degree rarely seen in any animal. Elephants feel grief to such an extent that they appear to mourn their dead, staying with the body, and sometimes covering it with dirt and leaves. Such is the remarkable memory of an elephant that, if wronged, they have been known to seek revenge years, even sometimes decades later. These thoughtful giants also show compassion to such a degree that they have been seen going to the aid of strangers, even humans. Intellectually and emotionally superior to most of their neighbors, as far as we know, such a range of understanding and emotion is not held by any of the other savanna animals. When bull elephants fight for the right to mate, brains and brawn collide. Their adaptable trunk turns into weapons, pushing and thrusting for victory. When new calves are born, they are a celebration for the entire herd. They will learn all they can from the wise females that make up their extended family, and with whom they will spend many years. Tactile animals, they stay close to one another. Staying nearby is a necessary survival tactic for a calf. But surrounded by such a wall of loyal protection, there is little to fear. Both African and Asian elephants share the same large brain and superior intelligence. Using their great power to effortlessly move obstacles and find food, the dexterity of these largest of land animals is truly extraordinary. The huge durian fruit that litter the forest are protected by thorn-covered husks. Cracking this spiked barrier with a giant foot, elephants have learned how to access its soft, creamy flesh. Combining the delicate flexibility of their trunk with the precise placement of each massive foot, cracking into this prized food is made to look easy. It's no surprise elephants have the largest brain of any land mammal. The avian world is full of hidden surprises. From the elegant design of their feathers, to their astounding hand-eye coordination, to some of the most incredible courtship displays imaginable, many of the world's birds are staggeringly impressive. Like other birds that live in trees, parrots have a foot arrangement best suited for climbing tree trunks and through foliage. Their middle toes point forward and the outer ones point backwards, ideal for grasping, while waterproof feathers protect them from the downpours the tropics can bring. These colorful birds are vocal, gregarious, and highly social. Many flock together in great numbers, budgies doing so at the beginning and the end of their daily foraging. While budgies and most other parrots tend to team up to mate and form monogamous pairs, other birds try a different approach. The male satin bowerbird will try to mate with as many females as he can. And to do this, He needs to impress them. Selecting only blue items such as feathers, berries, bottle tops, and straws, he decorates his display area with precision and exacting care. The colorful display areas are at both ends of his bower, a curved wall design that runs north and south that he has woven with twigs and painted with saliva. It is with this prestigious design that he hopes to impress females enough to allow him to mate. Imposters are a problem. Any interference with his carefully laid out adornments is instantly rectified and the bower restored to its owner's high standards. Cockatoos and other parrots do not build the elaborate displays of the bower birds. They don't need to try to attract as many partners, choosing instead to form a pair and stick together, preening each other to help strengthen their bonds. The amazingly strong curved beak of the parrot does much more than just crack into seeds and fruits. Grasping their feathers in their beaks, preening is a vital part of life. The contour feathers, needed for flight, have tiny hooked barbules that interlink and keep the feathers together. When preening, the full length of the contour feathers are run through the bill, engaging the hooks and bringing the barbs together, maintaining the exact shape of each feather. The boisterous rainbow lorikeets are some of the most sociable, noisy, and acrobatic of parrots, perhaps even more so than the budgie. These nimble multicolored gems are specialized feeders of floral nectars and soft fruits. Their tongues have a brush-like tip to help sup up such delights. Whether seeking out seeds, fruit, insects, or nectar, vision in birds is acute and eye, foot, and wing coordination is highly attuned. In Australia, most parrots have been found to be either left or right-footed when it comes to picking up food and grasping objects. With a brain twice the size of a duck's and a brain-body ratio that's comparable to some of the higher primates, the curious, social, bonding, noisy parrots are some of the most intelligent of all the birds. Spindle-shaped egg cases hang near the daytime retreats of one of the most incredible spiders. Their lumpy abdomens and odd appearance belie their secret talents. Bolas spiders are small nocturnal arachnoids. The females, at no more than 15 millimeters, are over 10 times larger than the minuscule males. The web of the Bolas spider is unmatched by any other and hardly recognizable as a web at all. Dangling on a horizontal silken cable, she lowers a single thread, a 5-centimeter sticky silk line, beaded with gelatinous drops and culminating in one mighty ultra-sticky globule. Her target is a single species of moth. Female moths attract males by releasing potent pheromones which draw them in. Bolas spiders make and release an exact replica of this pheromone. Thinking that they are heading towards a female moth, fluttering males unwittingly head straight for the sticky, bulbous trap. As it draws closer, the masterful spider picks up the vibrations of the moth's wings and twirls its thread like a lasso, the viscid bolus grabbing on to the deceived moth. Reeled in and bound with silk ties, the spider decides whether to eat her victim now or store it away for a meal at a later date. The enormous egg sacs that hold the developing young are close by the daytime hideaways that Bolas spiders make by binding leaves together. Many times bigger than the female, each egg sac will hold around 600 eggs, each forming into an itsy-bitsy spider. Mysterious, creative, and cunning, bolas have to be some of the most clever arachnids around. These towering sculpted mounds that decorate the grasslands and deserts of Australia are crafted by the greatest architects of the insect world, termites. Although blind, these tiny animals work relentlessly to build their giant homes. Termite colonies are populated and dominated by one hugely overgrown queen. She will lay all the eggs for the colony, sometimes more than 2,000 a day. Termites are eusocial animals, where different castes in the colony have different roles. Their level of coordination is so advanced that they operate as one giant superorganism. Soft-bodied and blind workers build the magnificent mounds complete with hollow chambers and chimneys that regulate the temperature and humidity within. Few animals can penetrate the impressive walls, but the formidable echidna is built just to do that. A specialized hunter, it eats only ants and termites, its powerful claws ripping open the walls of the mound. It's a double assault. Sunlight kills these nocturnal insects, and as soon as the attack is launched, soldiers are quick to defend. Thousands of soldier termites protect the colony, while workers within immediately start repairing any damage. So advanced are the workings of these super colonies that some build magnetic mounds, mounds so perfectly aligned to north and south that they can avoid the midday heat, yet are still warmed by the morning and evening sun. The sticky tongue of the termite-eating echidna is 18 centimeters long and laps up termites by the hundreds. It can eat over 200 grams of these tiny creatures in a mere 10 minutes. As soon as the attack starts, the chemical communication system of the termites activates, and troops are rallied to defend, rebuild, and repopulate. The pinnacle of social evolution. Are these tiny termites the most intelligent of all animals? The seemingly smiling acrobatic dolphin has captured our curiosity and emotion more so than most other animals. Dolphins' capacity for play and coordinated social behavior are so highly developed they are thought of as emblems of intelligence and joy. Their lively eyes see well both in and out of the water. Their large brains allow them to live in social groups, a way of life that requires great intelligence, both to communicate with and understand other group members. Hunting as a group requires precise teamwork. These dolphins must launch themselves at the shoreline at exactly the same time, while holding their position in the group if they are to flush out the corralled bounty of fish. Dolphins have two main forms of highly sophisticated communication: the clicks of echolocation and the whistles used for contact calls and identification. Most female dolphins will whistle almost continuously for several days after they have given birth, acoustically imprinting their calf to them. The signature characteristics of the calf's whistle will develop with age. Other ocean mammals are highly adapted to their waterborne life and are accomplished hunters, seeking out prey by sight, sound, and smell. But they lack the coordinated team hunting skills of the dolphin, which gives them the edge over their fellow marine mammals. Dolphins are one of the few animals that are known to play simply for the pleasure of it, and will use sea kelp and sponges in group games. Using echolocation to see with sound, they can construct a 3D image of the size, location, and distance of an object that takes their interest. Their streamlined, graceful bodies gliding through the water, dolphins take great pleasure in each other's company and are without a doubt one of the most exuberant and playful creatures in our oceans, perhaps even more so than the joyful sea lion. Could it be that with their incredible acrobatics, ability to learn, and impressive teamwork skills, dolphins are the smartest animals in the sea? With a body that can change shape, color, and texture, large camera-like eyes, and an astounding array of attack and defense techniques, the bizarre and beguiling octopus is the most intelligent of all the world's invertebrates. The thick, muscular bowl-like suckers on the underside of their arms are so strong that they can help them squeeze into tiny spaces, grab at prey, and pull objects towards them. Along with cuttlefish and squid, these cephalopods are the masters of disguise and will hunt fish, crabs, and shrimp, able to track them down wherever they may go. If it comes to being followed themselves, a sudden squirt of blue-black ink not only obscures the attacker's view, it also dampens their sense of smell, leaving the road open for escape. With no skeleton to restrict them, octopuses can mold themselves into any place of safety or any hidey hole. With an incredible ability to blend with their surroundings, cephalopods have color-producing cells that they can activate at will. The resulting array of colors is magnificent. Although it seems sometimes the right shell is a harder choice than the right color. Octopuses have been known to collect shells and other objects to make fortresses around their lairs, as well as using shells for protection and disguise. Their water-expelling funnel protrudes out, ready to move them at any time. Lightning-fast strike and crushing embrace is an ambush few survive. These sly, mysterious marvels could be anywhere, in tiny hideaways they can fold their undulating bodies into, or hidden right in view, ready to strike out with a sucker-covered tentacle. Not only can these fantastic animals change color, they can also scatter and reflect light, adding an iridescence to their camouflage. Color changes are made so fast that they are blended with their new environment almost as soon as they arrive. And if ever camouflage and speed are not enough, Octopus can voluntarily drop an arm to escape from danger. It will regrow with barely any ill effect. Could the remarkable cuttlefish and octopus be our ocean's most intelligent inhabitants? The inquisitive chimpanzee, the never-forgetting elephant, the exhibitionist bird, the deceitful spider, the architectural termite, the social dolphin, or the intriguing octopus. Which is the most intelligent of them all? The legendary wild dingo, the iconic kangaroo, vicious feral cats, the delightfully bizarre platypus, and the unmistakably cuddly koala. All call Australia home. One of Australia's most recognizable creatures spends most of its life hidden from view in the comfort of the gum trees it calls home. Found in eastern and southern Australia, koalas are known for their slow and sleepy leaf-eating lifestyle. Yet there is much more to the famed koala than meets the eye. Those that live in the cooler southern parts of the country can almost be a third bigger with thicker, shaggier fur than those that live in the warmer, more tropical climates further north. Fitting their surroundings perfectly, the gray and white of the koala's fur merges them seamlessly with the peeling barks of the eucalyptus tree. In open country, these agile climbers need to come down to move from tree to tree. Koalas have a range of sounds used to communicate. Males have a deep grunting bellow that will give away their status as well as their position. One dominant male will have a territory that includes the home range of several females. To all koalas, their highly developed senses of hearing and smell are their lifelines. The wild dogs that roam through much of the koala's range are a deadly threat, killing more koalas than any other predator. Although armed with sharp teeth and claws, a mother with her joey are no match for a pack of large dogs. Her strong limbs and grasping paws will have to carry them to safety. Unable to reach her high in the sanctuary of her gum tree, the dogs move on. Opposing thumbs on her hind feet, a split hand arrangement on her forefeet, and long, sharp, strong claws enable this mother to take her joey high into the comparative safety of the treetops. Koala joeys don't leave the pouch until they are 7 months old, and even then, they will often seek the comfort and reassurance of their mothers. They will sleep in her lap and take her milk until they are a year old, often disappearing back into the pouch and the safety that it offers, away from the trials of adulthood. Things are not always peaceful in the treetops. Rival males will challenge each other for territory. Fights can be brutal. Without territory, males can't mate. The night is shared with many other animals that are nocturnal by nature. Some of them more welcome neighbors than others. Pythons are a real danger to a young koala, and ever-protective mothers are on constant alert. Other nighttime tree dwellers do not cause such concern, more idle curiosity. The agile sugar glider enjoys feeding on eucalyptus sap, but at not much more than 100 grams, these shy little creatures are easily seen off. For an adult male koala, it is the other males that present much more of a problem. Living on toxic eucalyptus, the koala's phenomenal sense of smell can detect which of the many species they have a tolerance to. The chemical tolerance is passed on from mother to young, even before they fully emerge from the pouch. Perfectly suited to their highly specialized life, the koalas of the eucalyptus forests are one of Australia's greatest treasures. Dingoes have been in Australia for thousands of years. Descended from wolves, these agile canines are sleek and efficient hunters. Lithe, elegant, ferocious, and highly alert, these magnificent pack-hunting animals are Australia's largest land carnivores. Opportunistic predators, dingoes are flexible hunters and prey on birds, reptiles, kangaroos, wallabies, rabbits, and livestock. When livestock was brought to Australia in the 1800s, dingoes inspired the creation of the world's largest fence. Over 5,000 kilometers long, the dingo fence is built specifically to keep them away from prime grazing areas. Proud, majestic animals, they maintain pack dominance, hierarchy, and territory with characteristic efficiency. Their superb vision and incredible flexibility enhance their hunting prowess. Keen and intelligent hunters, pack size and hunting strategy are organized according to the prey they choose. Sheep are generally attacked from behind and are easily run down. Although livestock only accounts for a small amount of their diet, sheep are often killed or injured without being eaten. Once a sheep is chased down, a dingo may turn away and outrun another. Dingoes range over most of mainland Australia. In the alpine regions of Kosciuszko, they have a thicker insulating double coat and are slightly larger than those in the warmer, more northern parts of the country. In the parched, arid climates that can bake large swaths of the Australian countryside, conditions can be tough. A lone, drought-stricken, emaciated dingo finds it hard to survive. Access to drinking water determines where dingoes can live. In dry times, the liquid they gain from the bodies of their prey is an invaluable lifeline. Dingoes have a wide and varied prey range, but prefer medium to large mammals, which make up most of their diet. Although dingoes are very different to domestic dogs, they scent mark much in the same way, marking out their territories and defending them against imposters. Wild horses and dingoes are among the many animals drawn to the precious watering holes of the outback. Dingoes need to drink every day and take great pleasure in lapping up the life-giving liquid. Watering holes also offer easy hunting opportunities, as so many creatures are drawn in to drink. Fraser Island, on the east coast of Australia, is a far cry from the arid interior of this vast country. The dingoes here could be the purest genetic strain that exists, protected by their island location from interbreeding with wild and domestic dogs. Lace monitors are huge reptiles that don't back down easily and are armed with sharp teeth, strong claws, and tough skin. They are seldom caught. Running free, these magnificent canines are at home in almost all of Australia's diverse landscapes, from ocean to forest to red center. Of all of Australia's 140 marsupials, the kangaroos are the most iconic, their bounding strides summing up the very essence of the land. All male kangaroos box in their quest for dominance, blows, grapples, and kicks sounding out throughout the outback. Kangaroos are the largest of the macropods. Their inquisitive faces and curious nature are a fixture of almost every part of the country. Eastern and western gray kangaroos can appear very similar, but westerns are often browner in color and slightly smaller. Red kangaroos are the largest of all. The graceful russet form of the mighty red kangaroo powers over the grasslands with rhythmic strides, as its immense hind legs land on the baked earth. At full bound, these superb animals can clear 9 meters in one stride. Female red kangaroos are often blue-gray in color and not red at all, while males are always the characteristic russet. This male joey will take milk from his mother until he is weaned at around 1 year old. Kangaroos take shade from the heat of the day. Their long, multi-directional ears act like radar, alert for signs of trouble. Dingoes are a serious threat to any kangaroo. A pack of them, or of wild dogs, could take down the largest of adults, and kangaroos will flee from any sign that a pack could be getting too close. Rubbing his chest on the ground is one way a male will assert his status. Another is by kickboxing. The powerful hind legs of these western greys are edged with strong, sharp claws. The full impact of a well-placed kick is enough to disembowel an opponent. An intervening third male could soon turn a fight into a brawl. Dainty, delicate whiptail wallabies are found in the warmer parts of the eastern greys range, a range which, as its name suggests, takes in much of eastern Australia. Eastern greys are the second largest of all the macropods and hold the kangaroo speed record. At their fastest, they are able to travel at 64 kilometers per hour. For any kangaroo, moving on all fours is for slow travel only. Tail and forelimbs support their weight as they swing their hind legs forward. For travel of any speed, hopping is a much more favorable option. The energy-efficient hop of the kangaroo draws on their immense energy-storing leg tendons and their impressive stride length. They are the only large animals known to hop as their main means of locomotion. Large males have immense chest and shoulder muscles, along with powerful forearms and claws that can be used so brutally in boxing competitions. Competitions they must win if they are to be able to mate. From their early days, young roos practice the sparring skills they will need throughout their life. All the moves seem to be there, just much less aggressive of the real fights that are to come. Perfectly suited to the land in which they live, Australia's macropods have adapted to almost every environment. The yellow-footed rock wallabies of South Australia are the largest of those that make their homes within the craggy beauty of the outback boulders. The mighty hoppers are really the very essence of Australia. Australia is home to over 12 million wild house cats. These lithe, nimble felines are the only cats in Australia and have made homes for themselves in every part of the country, from rainforest to desert to woodlands and grasslands. Incredibly adept and proficient hunters, their feline prowess wreaks havoc on the native wildlife. It is thought that cats were first introduced to Australia as a result of Dutch shipwrecks and sea traders from Asia. Their numbers massively boosted when European settlers released cats into the wild to try to control plague numbers of rabbits. The cats took over. Independent, self-sufficient, and adaptable, cats can produce 3 litters a year and will hunt anything up to their own size. Keen eyes, a sharp nose, and a legendary sense of curiosity can lead these furred hunters into crevices and caves, eager to explore the range of food on offer. Inside the huge mound of the greater stick nest rat hides its babies. Despite its impressive size, the nest is no barrier for the hungry cat. Agile, flexible, and at home almost anywhere, the incredible cat, with its phenomenal hunting skills and carnivorous appetite, present an assault of colossal proportions to Australia's native wildlife. Unused to these exotic imposters, the animals of Australia, such as this burrowing frog, have not evolved defenses against these particularly sharp-clawed attackers. Wildcats are carnivorous in the truest sense, and daily food needs are between 5 and 8% of their body weight. To get this, most cats will eat up to 30 animals a day, which means that across Australia, its wildcats are killing around 75 million animals every 24 hours. With their acute senses and fine coordination skills, cats are perfectly suited for stalking and capturing bite-sized prey. Sharp, retractable claws help conquer any location that looks as though it may lead to a meal. Opportunistic hunting habits suit opportunistic sleeping habits, and cats the world over are found napping and resting throughout the day. When something stirs to take their interest, they're always ready to investigate. Even the nesting site of the red-backed kingfisher hidden deep within a burrow is worth a look. As they trot nimbly over the rugged landscapes of this island continent, it seems as though nothing is off limits. The stealth and flexibility of these sleek felines is due in part to their ultra-flexible spines and shoulders. Cats do not have a fixed clavicle bone, which allows their slender bodies to follow into any space that their head will fit into. With their proud, uncompromising manner and uncanny ability to land on their feet, there are very few other animals that can threaten these wild cats. But this, the island taipan, is one of them. The most venomous land snake in the world. The island taipan is one animal the cat instinctively fears. Predator of its native wildlife, powerful hunter, and conqueror of all it surveys, the wild cat has unquestionably made its mark on Australia. Of all the animals that have evolved in Australia, there is one that is more intriguing, more enchanting, and more unique than any other. An egg-laying mammal with billowing webbed feet and an electrosensitive bill, the water-loving platypus is an animal like no other. Long revered in Aboriginal culture as a creature of wisdom, when European scientists first saw platypus, its bizarre appearance shocked them so much that they thought the animal was a hoax. usually solitary platypus, has been seen foraging with pied cormorants. Both animals feeding on bottom dwellers. The birds have been observed pecking at the platypus until it dives. Presumably, the platypus is better at hunting out the tasty morsels of the riverbed. The hind feet that are used for grooming their soft, waterproof fur have a secret weapon. Males have a venomous spur on the ankle of each hind foot that is capable of inflicting a serious assault. But it is the electrosensitivity of their bills that is their true trump card. The pores of the platypus's rubbery bill can detect the electrical pulse given off by the minute muscle contractions of the smallest of animals. With its eyes, nostrils, and ears closed, a hunting platypus can swim directly to its prey. This water-loving, egg-laying, super-sensed little mammal has got to be Australia's most unusual inhabitant. With its powerful dingoes, iconic kangaroos and koalas, invasive wildcats, and bizarre platypuses, Australia's wildlife is truly mesmerizing.